Hello and welcome back, guys, to I have no idea what I'm doing, a Hardcore Ironman Series, Episode 2. So here are the goals for the series. I don't want to die before Episode 6. I can only actively train strength, none of the other combat stats, and obviously hit points don't count. Any quest XP or lamps are still usable on the other combat skills, I just can't actively train it. If you guys like my videos, please help a small YouTuber out by subscribing and liking my videos. I really appreciate it. Alright, now let's get some grinding on. Now, we finally started some grinding, and we're in the beginning, so the levels are coming real quick. I had a major brain fart and realized that the OSR's Ironman Optimal Quest Guide actually has an additional information column that helps try and make you more efficient and gives you useful tips. I don't really like starting multiple quests at once, which it recommends to save time running back and forth. But fuck it, I don't like starting more than one, it's hard for me to keep up the story, and I really like to keep the story straight because I'm all about that. So I won't really be following that tip. I do like some of the other tips though, like it recommends killing things as I pass them to pick up items necessary for later quests, and kind of where to train up a bit for a hardcore to make things a little bit easier. Which is why I ended up spending the first hour and 15 minutes of this episode grinding chickens to get to 15 HP recommended by the wiki. So about after an hour and 15 minutes killing chickens, I ended up collecting 1,915 feathers. I got to my goal of 15 HP and I was at 18 strength by the end. Then I fucked up and thought I was gonna die. I accidentally attacked the farmer when I was trying to pick up feathers. Thankfully, I was close to the end of my grinding and successfully beat his ass. Whoop whoop. I hit my 15 HP and then I moved on to questing. With sheep shearer first up, I went to Lummy Bank to grab 1 gold for the shears and deposited the cow meat and hide I had picked up on my way. Okay, we have our shears, let's get them sheep. I like to close the pens so my prey can't run. I know there's a ram in here I need to avoid. I can't shear him and he might fuck me up. Okay, got all my wool, just need to spin it now. To the castle! Got all these super soft balls. Now let's go start and finish the quest. He wants to know if we're the ones who keep leaving his gate open and letting his sheep out. Of course, not I, but he wants us to groom his sheep and bring him balls anyway. He must be compensating. So, we'll tell him we've already done it and he's offended. Go do it yourself next time, asshole. But he changes his tune as long as we give him the wool, so we give it to him and he gives us 60 coins, oh boy, and some crafting XP. Which, that's a real old boy, 60 coins, come on. Next quest, Miscellaneous Mystery. Here, Abigail tells us her and Huey were invited to a house party that got real murdery very quickly. So we agree to go and check it out for them. We take this very convenient boat over to this creepy house and watch murder after murder after murder after murder until we're face to face with this psycho who obviously loves Scream a little too much. We beat the killer down enough that they reappear and we find out, hey, it's Abigail. Felt like a Scooby-Doo moment. As she rambles about why she did this, a second killer shows up. Oh my gosh, it's Huey. He bows, what a prick. Anyway, Abigail's practically singing the Toby Keith song All About Me, and Huey wants some recognition, so Abigail stabs him. They have some relationship problems to deal with. I take the knife, stab Abster, then try to leave. Abster didn't like her new nickname, but Mandy, who's apparently not dead due to a weird genetic defect, saves us with a sweet Bandos Godsword that I'd totally suck her off for. We get some awesome crafting XP, an uncut ruby, emerald, and sapphire. We move on to the Restless Ghost, where Father wants us to deal with the ghost hanging around the graveyard. Sends us to go see another father alone. Suspicious. Okay, so here's the joke. A young kid is alone in a cabin in the middle of nowhere with a priest. Alright. Okay, he gives us a ghost speak amulet and we say thanks for the scarring memories and we're on our way. The ghost tells us that a warlock actually stole his head. Oh no! When we go, we find his head on an altar of some sort beneath some crazy wizards and get hit fucking hard by a skeleton I thought that I could take on. But, after a couple hits, I was like, nah, and ran the fuck out. Returning the skull, the ghost disappears and we are rewarded with some super sexy prayer XP, which will come in handy since I can't actively train it, and I get to keep the shitty amulet. At this point, I decided to grind out fishing to open Tempoross as my food source. I'm not comfortable with just a few chickens. I'll probably upgrade to a member next episode or episode 4. It all depends on what I decide to do for episode 3, because I'm torn between doing a money-making episode to get some money for some gear upgrades or more grinding. I haven't gone through a lot of quests yet, but I'm wanting to be on the safe side. Okay, so it took me about 3 hours and 30 minutes to go from level 1 fishing to 35, but I banked all the fish. I ended up with 310 raw shrimp, 40 raw anchovies, 281 raw trout, 57 raw salmon, for a total of 688 fish. And I've also considered grinding trawler before Tempoross, but we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for watching.